Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Offside Opinions, episode 10. I'm Ashra Niotia,
And I'm Levi Na.
and we'll jump right in with a recap of last week's games.
So only two for this week, unfortunately, and neither of them had a favorable outcome in my opinion. Starting off with Commanders
Agreed.
Eagles, 55-23. I mean, I expected the Commanders to struggle, but I did not expect it to be this big of a struggle. And I think it wouldn't have been nearly this big of a struggle if there hadn't been so many fumbles on like kick returns and basic catches and stuff that definitely shouldn't have happened. So largely not Jaden Daniels' fault, but he was going up against a very tough pass defense, which was the main thing that I expected coming into this game would be the struggle. So that didn't help, and of course it did not help that his defense could do nothing against Saquon Barkley, which we also saw that one coming. But like I said about how bad the game it was largely due to the run defense on the Commanders' part, and it started off from the very beginning. Letting up a touchdown in 10 seconds was that was indicative of how the game was gonna go.
Yeah. Levi summed it up pretty well. America wanted a Commanders to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Not the Eagles. I mean, who wants the Eagles to make the Super Bowl?
Eagles-Chiefs rematch again? Come on.
The Eagles, according to me, are the most obnoxious fan base in the entire NFL.
Okay, going up against the Chiefs, you're saying that?
Yes. I know people are like, oh, the Chiefs, oh, the Patriots when the Tom Brady era was there. Oh, this, oh, that. Yeah, no, none of them are half as bad as Philly fans are usually. And he summed it up pretty well. Saquon got everything going. I mean, the Eagles' offense got everything going. And that's what I have written here. It's the Eagles got everything going. I have even the stat lines pulled up. Jalen Hurts, 20 for 28, 256 yards and a tutty.
Three rushing touchdowns, too.
Yeah, I was going to get to that in a second. That's the first time he's gone over 200 yards throwing so far this postseason. The first time. And the other times he faced the Rams and the Packers.
Yeah.
He had 20 yards, 11 attempts, but he had 3 touchdowns. I guess it helps to have tush pushes all the time.
But it wasn't all the tush push either.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Saquon had 120 yards only, 3 TDs, and a 60-yard TD.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown had 6 receptions, 96 yards, and a touchdown.
And not to mention all the backup running backs that were getting touchdowns too.
The Eagles punted twice, and they still scored 55 points. They missed a field goal too, and they still somehow put up 55.
Yeah.
When you talk about that and you're thinking okay, this better be the greatest show on turf, which it's not. But this was perhaps the best offensive performance that we have gotten so far in this playoffs. And also in recent playoffs that come to mind, I'm thinking this is probably the best performance that I've seen
from the Jalen Hurts Eagles, probably. Yeah.
Now on the Commander side. So you did talk about, the fumbles and stuff.
Yeah.
Jay Daniels, he made a mistake. Okay, he had an interception. But that's bound to happen.
Yeah, against that pass defense.
He's a rookie after all.
Yeah.
And his receivers weren't helping him. They were dropping a lot of passes, to say the least. But, Terry McLaurin played awesome, but still didn't matter really. Zach Ertz, pretty well, didn't matter really.
Yeah.
But his receivers and his kick returners, they couldn't stop fumbling. And at the end of the day, they had, 3 fumbles or 4 fumbles, right?
Yeah, I think it was 3.
Yeah. Plus the interception, that's 4 turnovers right there.
Yeah.
And 4 turnovers against the Eagles, 55 points. I mean, they still put up 23. That's respectable, really.
Yeah.
Going against that Eagles defense. But if they didn't make those 4 turnovers and those were 4 possessions, I would see this being a whole lot closer if the Commanders got 4 touchdowns and they made it straight up 51-55.
Yeah.
Granted that the Eagles still had 55 and not anything lower.
Yeah.
But still, this was not a great game for the Commanders at all. It was still a great season, though. I think, and you might agree with me on this, they're bound to win a Super Bowl in the next 15 to 20 years with
Yeah.
Jay Daniels.
Yeah, and especially with the coach too.
Yeah, so I mean, providing Dan Quinn doesn't do anything wrong,
Yeah.
like how Ime Udoka did with the Celtics, to throw it to the NBA terms, or provided Jay Daniels doesn't do anything like Deshaun Watson or anything like that, which I don't think he will. I think the Commanders are set for the next 15 to 20 years with their QB.
Yeah.
Now on the defensive side, they have to fix the defense ASAP. I mean, Ertz has already declared that he will come back to the Commanders for the season.
Oh,
So your tight end situation is relieved.
Yeah.
But, the lack of pressure, which, to be fair, the Eagles still have a great O-line. But if the Rams can generate pressure, so could the Commanders. So they need to fix the defensive line. Because I know they let Chase Young go, right, earlier to the Saints. Or
Yeah.
I think it went 49ers and Saints, whatever it was. So they need to fix the defensive edges, get new DBs, get new corners.
Yeah.
If they fix the defense over the offseason, plus the draft, I really see this team becoming perhaps one of the best teams in the NFC. If they weren't already at that point this season.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the Bills-Chiefs game.
Man, I want to skip this one because it was 32-29. It was a close one, but looking back on it, and it felt like a close one during the game, but looking back on it, there was not really any way the Bills were going to win that game. You keep telling me that the calls weren't as bad in this game as they were in the Texans one.
They weren't, though.
They might not have been as blatantly obviously wrong, but they're definitely more game-changing in my opinion. Like, the fourth down, it was close for sure, but that ended the game pretty much. And, if they had somehow managed to come back from that one, and Dalton Kincaid had somehow caught that ball on that last-ditch throw, there was that random flag that came up, the refs would have prevented them from converting there. And not to mention the Xavier Worthy catch. Like, they were just huge game-changing plays.
Okay.
That there were terrible calls on.
So those were, 3 game-changing plays, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the Texans. There were, 2 roughing the passer calls.
Yeah, that's like a 15-yard penalty, and it's not on a
that puts
fourth down or anything.
Well, yeah, it takes you from the 45 all the way up into near field goal range, basically. Few runs and you're already in field goal range. Plus, you give a new set of downs, so you're easily able to continue marching down the field from there.
The thing is...
So that's 2 sets of drives where they got field goals.
Yeah.
So that's 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
So the final score for that game was 15-23.
Mm-hmm.
They're already down to 17-15.
Yeah.
Plus there was unnecessary roughness when Will Anderson, whoever, shoved Mahomes out of bounds.
Yeah.
Right. So that's another penalty, which I'm pretty sure they got another field goal off of.
Mm-hmm.
So that takes you from 17 to 14.
Yeah, but also the thing is, this was only a 3-point game, and the Xavier Worthy catch turned into a touchdown.
Turned to field goal.
Oh, it was a field goal?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was a
shoot.
field
But
goal.
still,
It
field
would
goal.
be 29-29.
The Bills are still in the game if they convert that fourth down that was a tush
So,
push.
yeah.
And the one where Dalton Kincaid should have caught it.
My point is what this is that while, yes, they were game-changing moments, I think that if those calls in the Texans game were called properly, the Chiefs wouldn't even be here in the first place.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So it would have been Texans-Bills, where I think obviously the Bills are going to win that. So I think it would be Bills-Eagles in the Super Bowl right now.
Mm-hmm.
If the Texans-Chiefs game had been called properly.
Yeah.
Is that a fair take?
I mean, I still don't agree with it, but it
Like,
makes
do
sense.
you understand the thought process?
Yeah, it
Like,
makes
you
sense.
understand what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, so there was that, but aside from that, the Bills still played amazing. James Cook put it all on the line with that fourth down touchdown, just insane. And it wasn't just him; it was Josh Allen and pretty much everyone else on their team was playing at their top level, except Dalton Kincaid should have caught that pass, and their defense played worse than even I expected.
The defense has issues. Okay, it's
Yeah.
not necessarily a young defense. I mean, it's an older defense for sure. They didn't play well at all.
Yeah.
But the offensively, I agree with your James Cook and Josh Allen statement.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with your Dalton Kincaid statement. But I think the Bills need a true wide receiver one. Like Khalil Shakir, he's really good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. He fits a wide receiver
Keon
too.
Coleman,
for sure.
he's also really good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's just when I think of both those players, I don't immediately think of them as wide receiver ones.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to be wide receiver ones either.
Yeah, and Dawson Knox is falling off, and Dalton Kincaid is mid. So I think they need a standout wide receiver for sure.
I think they need that 1-2 punch of the Patriots with Edelman and Gronk.
Yeah.
Plus like the solid supporting cast that they have right now.
Yeah.
I think if they get that kind of 1-2 punch, even if that's James Cook and another really good wide receiver,
Yeah.
I think if they pair those together, that's going to be a really good duo for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought of this. Maybe Devontae Adams to the Bills.
He moving again. That would be awesome. I mean, I keep forgetting about Amari Cooper is theoretically on that team, but he's done almost
he hasn't
nothing.
done anything this season. I actually forgot he's on the team too.
Yeah.
But if he learns the playbook and develops chemistry with Josh
that
Allen
might be
over
the
the
problem.
summer,
Yeah.
then I could see that being a really good duo. I just don't think that he's going to.
Mm-hmm.
It might be totally possible. I could totally see that happening. Just his involvement doesn't seem as high as it could be.
Yeah, and as high as I expected it to be when they made that move.
Yeah. For my side of the Bills, I mean, it was a great season despite everything that happened. You already said that.
Yeah.
That's obvious. But I think they need to get Allen a lot of help on both sides of the balls. They need wide receivers and tight ends that don't flop in key moments.
Yeah.
Dalton Kincaid dropping the ball. Mark Andrews?
No, dude. It wasn't that bad. It was a tough catch.
O-lines that don't let 4 Chiefs players into the backfield on the most crucial 4th down of the game. I cannot stress that enough. That was
it was a tricky play for sure.
It was a tricky play, but as the O-line, you have to realize that basically your season comes down to this play, and you have to put your life on the line for just this one play.
Not to mention the play before when they
when Allen was flushed out all the way to his right, and you just have to throw the ball.
Well, and they didn't remember before the play. They were like, "Wait, what play are we running? What play are we running?"
Yeah. So all that plus, a little bit of it's Josh Allen's fault. He had a wide open man, I think, on the play where the O line got confused.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mixed up the whatever I said earlier. But on that play, Allen overthrew his wide receiver by a good 2-3 yards. I mean, yeah, NFL QB overthrowing receiver. I heard that story a lot. Jared Goff is a fraud. But
Sam Darnold did that a lot too.
Yeah, but still, that's for sure. Defensive secondaries that can actually tackle. I mean, on the play before the Chiefs got the first down, they basically sealed the game. They just did victory formation from there out.
Yeah.
It was the guy missed the tackle.
In the backfield too, wasn't it?
No, he was if this is where the Chiefs player is, and this is where the Bills defender is, it was 3 yards maybe from the first down. So he ran and then he jumped. He just missed the tackle completely, and they got the first down. And they did victory formation and won. Coaches that actually call good plays, not a screen pass on a 3rd and 10. That's probably the most crucial 3rd and 10.
Yeah.
This is not the Super Bowl where Pete Carroll tried to outsmart Bill Belichick. This is literally just Corey. You're playing against Andy Reid, who's probably going to dial up a pressure if you know anything about his defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Sean McDermott play call was even remotely good. Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I think saying something like that is a little bit dramatic considering they did get to the AFC Championship. I think he's still a great coach.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not a great coach. I'm just saying at that kind of moment, it's that what determines if you can go to the Super Bowl or not. And with him, I don't think they're going to make it.
Yeah. I mean, if they can fix up their defense, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if they fix up their defense, but that kind of play call in that kind of moment, though, that shows you a lot about a coach. Yeah. Is that, under pressure, this coach is not the greatest.
Yeah, which maybe we're finding out about Kevin O'Connell. We'll see.
Well, okay, on a side note, with Kevin O'Connell, it's not that he's a bad coach. Yeah. It's just every playoffs he gets against a team that either A, knows him really well.
That was the Rams. Yeah, that was the Rams for sure.
Who did y'all get eliminated the first time by?
Giants.
The Giants.
We just could not stop the run. That was the main thing in that game.
Okay.
Well, so that was really our defensive issues, I guess.
Or you just get unlucky that you find out the Giants exist. Which, Not saying a lot. Okay, yeah. Ignoring that fact of Danny Dimes in the line and the
Well,
Giants.
Saquon Barkley was just going all over us.
Yeah. Being there, seeing that
Yep.
through a TV at a I'm
Just a couple weeks ago.
and then we're not getting there. For the Chiefs, this game most definitely seemed rigged. More on that later. We'll get to that. Trust me. But pretty overall good game. Okay,
Yeah.
They didn't make any mistakes apart from the one fumble early on. That won't work against the Eagles, right? You
Yeah.
can be pretty darn sure about that.
Yeah,
Which,
I mean,
to be fair, we can put some of that on Arrowhead's coldness, probably.
probably, yeah. Which, you know, with the Superdome, that won't.
Yeah,
that will
with
not
the
be a
Super Bowl, that
problem.
probably won't. Nothing will happen, but like,
Mhm.
you just gotta be mindful of those kind of things.
Yeah.
The defensive run game needs to tighten up, for sure.
Mhm.
I mean, James Cook had 120 yards and a touchdown, plus that
Yeah.
leaping touchdown.
Yeah, where he's like breaking what looked like a really good
Yeah.
tackle. You're
I
going to
mean-
struggle with Saquon Barkley.
If James Cook is having 120 yards and those kind of plays, imagine what Saquon's gonna do.
Yeah.
I mean, if he doesn't double that plus like an extra tutty on top of that, that's
Mhm.
going to be surprising. But do I have faith in Steve Spagnuolo to tighten up the defense somehow?
Yeah, we'll see.
Absolutely.
He can
I
do
mean,
anything.
if there's one guy I trust to stop Saquon and the Eagles,
Yeah.
and it's like out of everybody in the league, give me Steve Spagnuolo. I feel like he's the one guy who's proved over and over again I can do the job perfectly.
I mean, he did it against CMC last year.
Yeah,
So, like,
so I don't see how he doesn't do it this year.
yeah.
But here's the big question from this game: does Mahomes now definitively own Allen in the playoffs?
I don't know if I can go that far because you know it was still a really close game, and he, you know, like I said earlier, the Bills' defense was a large contributor, refs aside, you know. So I think Allen is definitely the better QB in that situation. I don't think you can say he owns him.
Okay. To speak strictly off postseason success, okay, I definitely think that Mahomes has had more help.
Mhm.
Okay, I know Chiefs fans are crying about, oh, we won the Super Bowl twice in a row and we had no help whatsoever. Yeah, but like the refs, really? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, the Super Bowl colors themselves wanted you to win.
Okay.
More on that later too.
We're not gonna get to that conspiracy
More
theory
on that
again.
later too. I promise. But I think Allen is like the Manning to Mahomes' Brady. Okay, I think that if there's Allen, I think will eventually, hopefully, beat Mahomes. All right, I think eventually it will happen in the postseason.
Hopefully next
Just
year.
when that will be is unknown.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as the NFL continues to favor the Chiefs, I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
But should the NFL ever not do that?
Maybe Travis Kelce splits up with Taylor Swift.
Maybe
Please,
Travis
please,
Kelce
please,
just straight up
please.
retires. You know, that would be also awesome. Just, you know, him leaving,
Yeah.
the Chiefs becoming bad.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think as of right now, Mahomes does own Allen in the postseason until Allen gets a win. On which case, you will hear me say the flip side of that,
Yeah.
which is Allen owns Mahomes. But we will get back to conspiracy theories in about probably 15 minutes. Super Bowl picks. You know what? We're going to surprise y'all. We're not going to tell you our picks today. We will tell you all our picks next week on the pod. All right?
Yeah, there will be a pod next week, and let me tell you, it will not be covering the Pro Bowl.
Oh, yeah. If you were hoping for any Pro Bowl coverage, you might as well go jump off a cliff. 'Cause
Go
we
elsewhere.
hate the Pro Bowl. We will be discussing how to fix that probably next week. Don't worry.
That will be the only Pro Bowl discussion
Yeah,
happening.
it'll be how do we fix it? Moving on. But we will tell you all the ways that we think each team can win. How do you think the Eagles can win?
Get the run going. I don't think they're going to get nearly so much success in the pass game in this game. They got to figure out how to outsmart Steve Spagnuolo, and I think that they're very well equipped to do it. And yeah, there will be a lot of Saquon Barkley in this game. Also, if their pass defense can kind of shut down, because I don't think they're going to struggle that much stuffing, Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. Like, Kareem Hunt's been playing real physical, but he can't get, like, the big runs going like Saquon can. So they definitely need to lock down on pass defense, which also I don't think that'll be that hard. So I think, yeah, they have a decent shot.
Yeah, I agree with mostly what Levi said there. I think that if the defense plays like they did against the Commanders, they'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
If if the Eagles basically let Saquon cook and play like how they did against the Commanders, they should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
If the defense specifically plays like they did against the Rams, I think they might be in for a longer night. They kind of got bailed out by the snow that game. I know it sounds biased. Oh, he's just saying that because he's a Rams fan. Yeah, I am. Because you know what? They did get bailed out by the snow, okay?
I agree, and I'm unbiased.
Yeah, I don't see how the Eagles win without playing like how they did against the Commanders. They have to play near perfect ball.
Yeah.
For the Chiefs, they have to lock up Saquon. If they allow the Eagles to run that one play, which always gives Saquon 60 yards and a touchdown.
Yep.
On the very first
Fake
play
it
of the
inside,
game,
bounce outside, touchdown.
it's going to be a very long night.
Yep.
Why? Because the O-line of the Eagles is so good, they will part the Chiefs' D-line like it's the Red Sea. And then once they part it, they're just going to do a quick in-out 60-yard run.
Yep.
And that formula has worked in 3 straight games. A fourth time is not going to be surprising to anybody.
Yeah.
So I 100% agree with you. I think Steve Spagnuolo is the guy who's going to be like on to stop that. But then I can see the Eagles trying to outsmart him.
Yeah.
Now, the Chiefs need to play a perfect game offensively too.
I don't know about that, because I think if the defense can manage to shut down Saquon, I don't think their offense really has to do that much. Like in the game against the Bills, if they can just get basic like runs and short passes going like they were, there was nothing huge happening on offense, and it worked.
Well,
so.
Here's the difference between the Eagles' defense and the Bills' defense. One defense is incredibly mediocre. The other defense is the best in the league.
That's true.
So all these short passes that sound nice and like in reality, I'm expecting there to like literally lock up every single one of those plays.
Yeah.
Like you have Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell, Darius Slay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
Those 4 players alone, I think, are enough to take the entirety of the Chiefs receiving corps, excluding Travis Kelce.
I don't even know. I think they can definitely shut down Travis Kelce.
I'm not saying they can't shut down Travis Kelce. I just think that those 4 guys, D-Hop, Xavier Worthy, and then if they put the other 2 on Travis Kelce, I think they basically probably will be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know who else they put them on.
Yeah.
Because the Chiefs have no other decent receivers, really. But
yeah.
anyway.
We'll see if Juju Smith-Schuster can get involved.
Yeah. Fat chance of that happening.
No, dude, he's gonna get the PI like he did last year, and it's gonna win him the game. Or 2 years ago, yeah.
I think that Xavier Worthy on jet sweeps is gonna work really nicely against the Eagles.
Yeah.
Especially if they like sell it, they're trying to go a pass play and then they just flip it out to Worthy.
But then again, C.J. Gardner-Johnson has been super good at like coming off the side.
He has been good at reading the quarterback and
Yeah.
knowing exactly what's gonna happen. So I think it's going to be a long night, but for the Chiefs and the Eagles both. But I think that if one of them masters the way that they're supposed to, like the Saquon and the defense for the Eagles, and then just literally playing picture perfect offense and locking up Saquon for the Chiefs, I think honestly this is either team's game. But the refs, Audrey, the refs are gonna destroy them.
Yeah. We'll see.
We will see indeed. Now Colin.
Oh yeah, call in if you want our take on the Super Bowl. I guess even though we just gave it.
If you want to ask us a take on the Super Bowl, give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull up the stream real quick. Yeah, you heard that right. I usually don't have the stream open whenever we're doing the podcast. It just makes the entire computer pretty laggy for no reason. So, come on, load. All right.
thumbnail.
It is a beautiful thumbnail. But, yeah, elephant in the room is a thumbnail.
Yeah, whoever that one person watching right now, call in.
Yeah, so one person watching, you are a W person.
I think it's no one.
Yeah, you mean I'm the nice, yeah. Alright, we put that in the chat. Y'all can look at it whenever. Alright, we'll move on to the takes. Alright, I have thoughts on 3 head coach hirings, Levi. I'm going to ask you them. First one, thoughts on Brian Schottenheimer, the Cowboys offensive coordinator, to promotion as the Cowboys head coach. What's your thoughts?
That is a lazy move if ever I've seen one. Jerry Jones, we all know Jerry Jones just didn't want to do the work to interview someone from a different team, different city. Too much work, just elevate the offensive coordinator. You know what? I bet he didn't even interview him. He was just like, yeah, throw the offensive coordinator up there.
They did 2 sets of interviews. Don't worry, I did my research on that.
Yeah. Dude, that is such a lazy move. The Cowboys are going to be even worse now.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Okay, here's the thing. Schottenheimer's offense, of course, that's the same offense, Cowboys offense, has only ever finished top 10 in yards twice in 14 seasons. Granted, their team was mid for like half that time. But like when they had Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Tony Pollard, I'm pretty sure that was one time they finished, top 10.
Yeah.
And really, for that offense to only have finished top 10 once speaks more about Dak Prescott than I think it does about the OC. Prescott's never been healthy.
He's had a few really good seasons where he's fully healthy. I think he's definitely helped out with that.
Yeah, he's helped out, but then he's also being overpaid like crazy.
Yeah, definitely. No argument.
But that's not the discussion here. The discussion is about the head coach.
Yeah.
I think that Brian Schottenheimer, if he works out for the Cowboys, I don't see them going better than like 10-7, ever. Okay, with him as the head coach.
Yeah.
Nothing against him. I just don't see how their OC is going to ever like help them out.
Yeah, and given they're battling the Commanders and the Eagles in their division, yeah.
Plus, like if the Giants actually make some good moves, which I actually will see. I think that will happen because the GM's on thin ice now. But I don't necessarily like this hiring or promotion, whatever. Thoughts on Liam Cohen, the Buccaneers offensive coordinator, to the Jaguars as a head coach?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, we'll see if it's gonna fix up all the many problems that organization has. But I mean, there are better moves they could have made for sure. But I think it's not the worst hiring that's happened in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I agree, kind of. I think if Liam Cohen can do the same job with Trevor Lawrence like he did with Baker Mayfield, the Jaguars have a pretty good shot of being, a top-tier team. Yeah,
he's a similar project quarterback with, like, decent weapons if someone can organize their offense. Yeah, they can figure it out.
In the defense, I mean, really defensively, they just need some pass rush and then maybe, like, an extra DB, and they'll be probably fine because they already have Josh Hines out in the backfield. So they're basically fine there. Maybe if they get lucky and they draft another Jalen Ramsey-esque player, they'll be even better off. But I definitely like this hiring from the perspective of you're maybe going to get Trevor Lawrence to play well. I just don't see how they are able to, like, get to the next level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Though, to be fair, their division
is not a competitive division.
Not the most competitive.
They do not have much to do.
I mean,
to make the playoffs.
They have to literally beat Houston out.
Yep.
And then the other 2 teams in their division aren't really that good either.
Yeah, Titans and Saints, they're not going anywhere.
Not the Saints. The Saints are in the NFC.
Oh, wait, my bad. Titans and Colts.
That's Colts. Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they're like necessarily that good.
Yeah.
So I think the Jags should be fine. But it's just coming down to Trevor Lawrence project management.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Pete Carroll to the Raiders?
You know, a lot of people are giving the Raiders a hard time for him being the oldest coach in NFL history. Dude, he's going to be great. I think this is a great hiring. He's already convinced Max Crosby to stay, which that is a major success right off the bat. I think it's going to be a really good season. He has a lot of really good offensive weapons to work with if he can figure out the quarterback situation, and get a decent cornerback and cornerback.
Yeah, CB.
And I think they'll have a great season.
Yeah. Pete Carroll, to me, is like the granddad of all the coaches in the AFC West.
Yeah.
Like, you have the most stacked head coach division, like, pretty much ever in that division. You have Andy Reid, you have Sean Payton, and you have
Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, you have Jim Harbaugh, along with Pete Carroll.
All of whom are not exactly young either. So
yeah, none of them are young, and all of them have been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, that itself,
that's going to be the most
crazy.
Competitive division.
I think that, like, these guys are going to be, like, working to outcoach each other so much.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a heck of a season next season for all four of these teams.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if all four of these teams somehow snuck into the playoffs. Like, they're just all 10-7. They all made it.
Yeah, the other three get the wild card spot. That'd be crazy.
But yeah, I think this is a great hiring. I agree with what Levi said about QB situation and just secondary defensively.
Yeah.
But I could totally see the Pete Carroll Raiders team being great. Plus, I like the actual, like, maybe Brock Bowers gets utilized perfectly kind of scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know me. I've been big on Brock Bowers since.
Just because he was on your fantasy team.
Because A, he was on my fantasy team. B, he's been like the only bright spot apart from Max Crosby on that entire team.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just leave it there. Was the Bills-Chiefs game rigged?
Okay, it's easy to joke about it being rigged, and yeah, there were terrible calls, but there were calls on both sides. Like, it wasn't actually rigged. You're gonna keep going with your Super Bowl colors conspiracy theory. None of it's actually rigged. You can tell with, like, the WWE, like, this is so obviously rigged. It's not that bad. It is definitely not rigged.
Okay. On the play that Kincaid dropped the ball, okay, that very final play, there was a phantom flag.
Yeah.
Who was it? CBS was doing that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was in the bottom right-hand corner, and as soon as it was shown that Kincaid dropped the ball, that flag disappeared.
Which is odd. You would think, yeah, they should have them say they declined it. Yeah.
No announcement about it. Nothing from, the announcers even were like, there was apparently a flag on the play, something happened, and then, they didn't really discuss it after that.
But it's possible they could have, taken it back, realized, oh no, there wasn't actually a penalty there.
Well, even if there's a flag on the play, the ref still tells you there is no flag on the play.
Yeah.
Play will continue.
Yeah, it was kind of suspicious for sure.
I think that is a very, very suspicious moment right there. But also that worthy reception that hit the ground, that was so blatantly obvious to have hit the ground.
Yeah.
Like, you could literally see it from the angle they showed it on the TV. That ball hit the ground.
And it got challenged, too. It wasn't like it was just
and not only did Sean McDermott challenge it, but he also lost that challenge.
Yeah.
Which means you lose a timeout, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, while we can say that maybe it wasn't rigged, but those 2 points alone seem to make it, literally seem rigged.
Yeah, it definitely felt that way at times, but it's not like it's just the Chiefs. It's not like it's just this year and the past couple of years. There have been bad calls all the time in NFL history. People love to make video compilations of just hilariously bad calls. It happens a lot. It's not rigged.
My solution to this problem is that every bad call the refs make, okay, the NFL needs to send every game to New York, all right? Throughout the week, New York will investigate all of it. Whatever bad calls they see, they make different fines for those, and they fine the refs for it.
I mean, that seems fair.
If it comes out of the refs' pockets, that's the refs' fault. They should have made a better call.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The refs are human, all right? And if they have and there should also be clauses in there, like if you have less than 2 bad calls, then it's okay, it's whatever.
But if it's a challenged play, you have no excuse, you know?
Yeah, if it's a challenge play, and you can literally see as the audience that, that ball hit the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, any logical person would be like, is this rigged or not?
Yeah.
Because that's unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And the Super Bowl colors conspiracy theory perfectly worked again. I told you how last week. It's red, it's green.
It's not even Eagles green, dude.
Chiefs,
it's not even Eagles green. That would tell you it'd be Seahawks, if anything. It's not Eagles green at all.
Have you seen the light green Eagles?
It's not even that green.
It is.
It's not.
It literally
Dude,
is.
I'm pulling it up. It's not.
Pull it up.
It's not that green.
It's close to that hue.
Okay, hold on. It is.
I direct messaged you that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, did.
Yeah. That is way too light green.
Okay. This is the Super Bowl.
They're not going to be able to see that.
Yeah, if you can't see it, it's whatever. That is the Super Bowl green, all right?
Yeah.
That, to me, looks like the light Philly green.
No, dude. Look,
That
especially
is.
around the edge, it's almost yellow. That is
That's
absolutely
not yellow.
Seahawks highlighter green.
That is not. That is the Eagles light light green.
Dude, no, that's Seahawks highlighter.
It is the Philly green. I'm telling you, that's the Philly green.
And you want to talk about a stretch. That last year's purple, dude, come on, just because Taylor Swift released an album. No, dude, that is not.
T Swift's album was literally her in a freaking purple dress, which matches perfectly to that purple. You cannot argue that. It is literally pointing towards Travis Kelce Chiefs.
If you want to talk about it being representative of the teams, it's got to be Seahawks, Eagles, and well, that's not even possible, but you know what I mean? That'd be 49ers, Ravens. It is absolutely not indicative of anything.
This is indicative of teams. This is a Philly green. I don't know how many times to say this, but this is a Philly green. I will die on a hill for this being a Philly green. This year's is green and red. Philly green and red. Chiefs, Eagles. Last year's was purple and red. Red being for the 49ers. Purple, Tay-Tay's album was...
Oh my gosh.
It literally was her... And the color album was...
One, there are a million teams in the NFL with the color red as their color. Two, purple being Taylor Swift's album color is a massive stretch. Three, that is absolutely Seahawks green. Four, I could go on and on. That is teal, not Eagles green. It is not.
This is definitely a green.
Okay, maybe in the little corner where it's shadowed, but that's the primary color. That's teal, dude.
That'd
be
also,
Dolphins.
That's also light
That'd
green.
be Dolphins, if anything.
That's also light green,
dude.
though.
That is not indicative.
This was Eagles Chiefs for sure. Okay, you cannot argue the fact that there is green on this.
Yes, but it's primarily
And how would
teal.
you defend this one?
Okay, that one's obvious. Yes, but that is one Super Bowl logo
the Bengals
in all the years of Super Bowl logos. One has happened to match the colors.
And I don't know how many times I've convinced you that that's literally Philly green, and that's actually Eagles green.
Nah.
And then this is just T Swift's album. Come on. We all making conspiracy theories. Come on now. Next year, watch it be blue and purple, and then watch it be the Vikings Bills, and you're gonna be like, "Yo."
Okay, well, I would hop on the bandwagon then.
I would go, ooh. Yeah, I don't see how you. Yeah, okay, fine. You know what? I'll wait another year.
You're never gonna convince me.
I'm just waiting for the 1 year that it's actually purple and the Vikings make it. That way I can just be like, there you go. It's finally come full circle. It is rigged. It's okay. We all like conspiracy theories. Let's see. So, any call-ins, please.
Do we have
call
any other
now.
takes?
We don't have any takes left for this week.
Last chance for call-ins.
Yeah, last chance for call-ins. I don't know how many times I have to convince this dude that it's actually Philly green.
It's not, because it's outlined in yellow. so it makes it look like
It's not
Seahawks
outlined in yellow.
highlighter.
I don't know where you're getting that outlined in yellow thing.
And before the Rams Bengals, you don't see anybody talking about the Super Bowl colors then because it's only a recency bias based theory.
Yeah, because it was a one-time thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, okay, next year it'll be something different." Then it became green and red.
Yeah,
Chiefs,
no, but
Eagles.
what I'm saying
okay,
is
it's just twice. Then the third time it became purple and red. And you're like, "Oh, okay, Ravens 49ers, right?" And then it became T Swift's album.
if that's indicative of something, then it would have been there the year before when Mahomes was in the Super Bowl then. Like
No, because Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift weren't dating until last season.
yeah, but then if that's the case, then what's the point in even pointing out the color schemes?
What do you mean? What's the point?
Well, because the color. You're saying the color schemes are indicative of who's going to be in the Super Bowl before Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are dating. So then, like, why does that not continue into the past when Patrick Mahomes has taken the Chiefs to the Super Bowl?
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Well,
Yeah.
last year, because they were trying to market the T Swift, like the Swifties all gathering on the Chiefs bandwagon, they decided to do that. That way they could hopefully get the Swifties to realize, oh, purple. Oh.
Okay, so if it's just last year, then maybe I can agree with it. I was more thinking like this is a recency
You do realize
bias.
this is an entirely marketing scheme thing, right?
Oh yeah, no, it is. I'm not disagreeing with you there. The NFL definitely scheduled the Chiefs' schedule around Taylor Swift's concerts. I'm just saying like they're not putting the Super Bowl colors based on who they've rigged the Super Bowl for the year. Like
Well, I mean, the last 4 years would say otherwise. Just saying.
last 4 years out of the almost 60 that the Super Bowl has been a thing, I think not.
I'm searching up all Super Bowl logos. Hold on. I want to see just all of them.
Yeah, I want to see the Buccaneers Chiefs one. See if that was actually indicative. Oh man, those old ones are bad.
I know, right?
Okay.
Okay, before that, they just decided
Yeah,
to do
okay, so they were just silver.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they didn't really do colors, except
That-
for this one.
That kind of makes sense then.
Yeah, okay. So the last, before...
Just since they colored them.
Yeah, since they've colored them, it's...
I mean, that one had gold. The Chiefs are gold. Yeah, that's a stretch, but like...
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So basically, before
It was just a
Super Bowl
base that was
56,
colored.
before basically 2021, they never really colored the thing at
Yeah.
all. Then they started to color them, and suddenly, all of a sudden, we get this.
Yeah.
Just saying. But, yeah. So I guess if there are no call-ins, we're going to wrap up for today, I suppose.
Alright. Sounds good.
Yeah. Next week, we won't be doing any Pro Bowl coverage. Sorry if you wanted that. We will be talking about how to fix it, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll probably also go over some position needs for every team.
Yep.
We might have some other stuff in store, too.
Super Bowl predictions.
But definitely stay tuned for the Super Bowl predictions. You beat me to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll see y'all next week.
See if there's an interesting thumbnail next week too.
Yeah. We might... If the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, I promise there's going to be a very interesting thumbnail. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
But
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there if that happens. But, yeah. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next week.